If your holiday plans didn't include haunted cowboys, pirates on volcanoes, and a suspicious amount of slimes, congratulations! We just added them to your agenda. Guns of Eschaton calls itself the world's first Souls-like FPS, which had us thinking, why did no studio think of combining gunslingers, a dark Wild West setting, and punishing mechanics in one game before? If you play shooters regularly, this game will probably force you to relearn your good reflexes, as your ammunition is extremely limited, making every shot count. You'll have to learn enemy patterns, time dodges, and parries well, and switch between different bullet types depending on what kind of nightmarish creature is trying to tear your head off. And there are plenty of those. The game takes place in a supernatural version of the Wild West, affected by a mystical phenomenon called the Burning. It mixes horror, occult, and industrial themes in a really interesting way. To survive this, you'll use your hand-drawn codex to study enemy behavior and weaknesses before dying to them, because preparation is key. You can fully craft your own build with active and passive abilities and different pieces of gear. You can tackle the entire journey solo with optional PvP invasions by other players, but why not instead play in online co-op with full co-op progression? The trailer showed 2-player parties, but we couldn't find an official player count, so don't take that as final. The world itself was created by Viktor Antonov, who also worked on Half-Life 2, Dishonored, and Prey, among other legendary titles, and unfortunately passed away last year, making this his final original setting. There's no release window yet, but Guns of Eschaton is planned for PC and consoles. If Palworld had an opposite day twin, you'd probably be playing Wild Wild Eden. In this game, you are travelers from a distant planet, trying to make this lush paradise your new home. And while survival games usually ask you to punch trees and mine rocks until the credits roll, Wild Wild Eden shifts these tasks very quickly to the monsters inhabiting the world. These creatures are meant to become part of your tribe, as they will help you gather resources, water crops, and occasionally even just take a nap together. Yes, it does get that cozy. Because instead of forcing them at gunpoint to do your bidding, you bond with them and build relationships. Way to go, Palworld, way to go. You can even breed them with others, passing down abilities, traits, and rare color variations to create your ideal companions over time. Beyond that, the game offers everything you would expect from the genre. A colorful open world filled with treasures and secrets, but also the occasional fight in between. You can build your settlements almost anywhere you like, and craft your way from a handful of resources to a thriving village. The whole journey can be tackled alone or together with friends, letting everyone focus on their most beloved activity, whether that's breeding creatures, building impressive settlements, or exploring the world's mysteries. And although the game looks extremely polished already, the developers take their sweet time to perfect it. Wild Wild Eden will launch into early access no sooner than spring 2027, which might be a sign for quality in itself. Many of you guys are here to discover more 2-player adventures, like It Takes Two. So we're always happy if we happen to come across more of these kinds of puzzle games made to spend an evening on the couch together. Although this game will also have online co-op if you're playing with a long-distance friend. On Any Journey is a side-scrolling adventure that's perfect for anyone who's bored easily. You'll solve puzzles together, then tackle platforming challenges. The game constantly jumps between different gameplay styles, from arcade-inspired shoot-'em-up to pixel art beat-'em-up combat, with each obstacle requiring both players to work together. The story is a heartwarming one about self-discovery, being different, and finding confidence in life as a young person. But instead of relying on lengthy cutscenes and walls of text, it is mostly told through gameplay itself, as well as emotional music and the constantly changing visual styles. So if you're always on the lookout for your next casual co-op adventure that puts teamwork and problem-solving first, what are you waiting for? This deserves your wishlist. It is planned to release in fall or winter 2026 on PC and all consoles, including Switch. In most games, the entire purpose of slimes is teaching new players which buttons attack. A rather thankless career path if you ask us. So in World of Slime, those little gooey critters finally get to live their lives to the fullest. All enemies in the game are slimes, from tiny blobs to giant golems, including your very own companion. And those squishy fellas aren't just there for battles either. They can help you solve puzzles, clear paths, and even traverse difficult terrain while exploring the colorful open world. New slimes can be found in the wild, caught while fishing, or even created by combining different species together. And of course, there is always a Slimopedia to fill. The more time you spend with them, the more abilities they unlock, making future adventures a little easier. Since this is actually a casual MMORPG, you will naturally meet plenty of other players along the way. You can team up for hunts, explore together, or challenge each other in 1v1 slime-offs. There will be a demo that arrives in August, while the full release is planned for Q4 this year on PC and mobile with crossplay. MOBAs have become a lot faster over the years. Great for veterans, a little intimidating for everyone else. Luckily, Syndicate of Souls is trying to slow things down again. Instead of overwhelming players with flashy mechanics, it focuses on strategy, careful resource management, and finding clever ability combinations. The biggest twist is that you don't just pick a hero. You also choose a magical weapon with its own attacks and abilities, and every combination creates a different playstyle. Those weapons can even be dropped and picked up by teammates during a match, letting your team adapt on the fly. Or, more realistically, Greg just runs off with both of them. Besides that, you will find all the familiar elements, from pushing lanes and farming minions to fighting over objectives. Team sizes range from solo duels to full 5v5 matches, depending on the map. So if someone blames you for losing a teamfight, there is a dedicated mode to continue that discussion. The game is planned as a free-to-play title similar to Heroes of the Storm, with no release date announced yet. Windrose gets its first major update called Ashlands. The update adds a dangerous new volcanic biome filled with high-tier loot, powerful enemies, and new mechanics. It also directly ties into the story's continuation. Alongside the biome, we will also get at least one new ship class, improvements for combat, NPC AI, and plenty of new options for building your pirate hideout. Last but not least, they are also throwing in plenty of quality of life improvements. And, perhaps most importantly, a whole collection of new shanties. Because every pirate crew deserves a proper soundtrack. The First Descendant is heading into Season 4 called The Great Clash, and according to that name, it will finally bring its long-running storyline around the same old enemy faction to a close. Yes, there is apparently a story, not just jiggle physics. The other highlight is a massive new mega dungeon, while the new trial mode offers repeatable challenges with tougher enemies and valuable rewards. Later in the year, the new 3v3 PvEVP Colosseum mode lets one player transform into a giant colossus to invade the opposing team. Neat! Season 4 begins on August 20th, with more content rolling out through December. Over on the Epic Game Store, you can grab River City Girls 2 for free this week. This side-scrolling beat-em-up supports up to 4 players in online or local co-op and lets you punch your way through a much larger version of River City from its predecessor, with 6 playable characters, RPG progression, and plenty of side activities. But before we go, a quick heads up. Over the next few weeks, we will be moving, which means we don't have our recording and editing set up for a while. This also means that there won't be any new videos, unfortunately, until we get everything set up and working again. So we hope you all have a fantastic summer, enjoy your holidays if you have some, spend quality time with your favorite people in co-op or outside, and we will see you again soon, between end of July and August.